welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How's it going? How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing great. Hope everything in your life is wonderful and grand and you're having just a lovely time being alive. I hope all of that for you. I hope you're enjoying the nice weather. It's nice out today in particular. I'm recording this on a Saturday, as I usually do, and it's nice as fuck out. We're starting to get that warm weather finally, which is especially good in COVID times because right now I've been going to more bars and most of it's outdoors, and when you're outdoors at a bar, you pray to God that it's going to be over 70 degrees, and when it's not, you go, God damn it, when's the summer coming? It's crazy how quickly it changes to summer, and I always forget every year. I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I have no idea what the weather is going to be, the changing of seasons, don't know about any of it. I just wake up and I go outside and I proceed with caution. I wake up, I go outside, or I look at I look up weather forecast and I just look at the degrees and that's it. If it says rain, don't pay attention to it. If it says sun, don't pay attention to it. Just see the degrees and I go, all right, I might need a coat. And then I go outside and I go, hey, this coat's not good enough, but I'm already 10 steps from my door. I'm not turning back. That's what's been happening a lot lately. I go out to a bar. I go, oh, it's warm enough not to have a coat. I go just like this, no coat. Then it proceeds to get dark and I start getting freezing and I go, God damn it, isn't it May? When the fuck does it get hot? I guess it just turned May. And in May, I was looking at the temperature changes and how significant they are. And from April to May, they're like from April 30th to May 1st, it's a temperature spike, which I guess is true because today it's 80 degrees. And the last week of April, it was all fucking 60 to 70. So I guess that makes sense. Anyway, who cares? I'm literally talking about the weather. I'm literally talking about the most boring fucking thing you can talk about right now to start this podcast off. I wonder why this podcast isn't exploding, dude. I wonder why I'm not getting millions of listeners. Maybe it's because I start episodes by talking about the fucking weather. Anyway, but yeah, I hope it gets warmer so I can be at bars more. Also, a reason why I hope it gets warmer is just because I've been going on more dates. Or not going on more dates. I've been more in the dating arena, as in I've been looking for dates. But they're not, what I want to talk about is I had a weird thing this week. I don't know. I've been having weird luck on dating apps. I don't know and I don't even know if luck is the right word. I've just been having weird interactions with people and it's making me just be like, I got to get out of here. And I guess that's just is what it is. If you're on a dating app, you're having weird experiences and you're thinking, I gotta get out of here, but you don't for some reason. Because what are you gonna do? Quit? You can't quit looking for love. You gotta keep fucking searching until you either find it or you're fucking dead. That's how it goes, I guess. It's part of the human condition. You search for love until you die or find somebody who you will eventually hate. That's life. That's love. That's what it is. That's what it is being a dumb fucking person. Which we all are to a degree. Anyway, so on the dating app this week, some weird shit happened. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I was on Bumble this week. I'm on all these fucking different apps, man. It's out of hand. Everything I do in life is too many of the thing. Do you know what I'm saying? if I'm looking for porn, if I'm looking for a TV, it doesn't matter what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for anything, if I'm doing anything with anything, there's too many of the thing. I'm on like 5 different dating apps. When I'm online looking for something to buy, I'm in 20 different tabs on Google Chrome. It's just too many. It's overwhelming to my fucking brain, and yet I do the same thing over and over again. So anyway, I'm on like 5 different apps, but I happened to be on Bumble one day, because what you do is every day you open the app, you swipe a couple times, you get depressed, you go to a different app, you swipe a couple times, you get depressed, and so on and so forth. You take a break, then in the middle of the day, you go, fuck it, I'll go back on those things. Maybe I'll match with somebody. You swipe a bit, you get depressed. It's a cycle that you fucking follow yourself on all day. You're in bed at night, you're like, fuck it, I'm bored, about to go to sleep. I'll swipe, get depressed, go to sleep, wake up. Fuck it, I'll do it the first thing on my phone, swipe a little bit, get depressed. You sensing a pattern? It's almost like depression is paired very, very perfectly with these dating apps. It's almost like if you don't want to be as sad, just don't have them. But you gotta find love, so I'm keeping them. Anyway, so this week I was on all of them, but this one day in particular I happened to be on Bumble. I was swiping. I was bored. I was editing something for work, and I was bored as fuck, and I was like, fuck it, I'll swipe. So I start swiping, and I match with somebody. And on Bumble, when you match with somebody, you don't think much of it because they have to message you. And most people just message, hey, and then you message back, hey, or hey, what up? Because what else are you going to message back to hey? I've talked about this so many times on the podcast. Just man, woman, whoever you are, don't message hey. And if you do message hey, when you get a hey back or a what up back, that's expected. Motherfuckers who message you hey, and then in real life, they have the nerve to be like, everyone's so boring on dating apps. They always reply to me with like, what up or hey. Can't they say something more interesting? What did you say to them? Well, I said, hey. So what the fuck do you expect, dude? What the fuck do you expect? I've had people say to my face, they complain, it's so annoying how people just say hey on dating apps. Can't you think of a more interesting thing to say? And I go, what do you message on dating apps? They go, oh, well, I usually start with a wave. Hey, man, we're on a text message thing. We're in text format right now. You use letters and you combine them into words, and then you do a couple of words and you make a sentence. You don't do a fucking emoji of a hand waving, okay? If you want to wave to me, you can do it on our first date when I see you across the street so I know who you are. Don't do it in the text part. Don't do it in the, hey, are you an interesting person part of the conversation? Because you're telling the person I'm not. If you send a hand waving as your first message on a dating app, all you're signaling to that person is you're boring as fuck. You're boring, and I'm almost done with the conversation. And I'm about to unmatch. Anyway, so on Bumble you go, all right, I don't even know, this probably nothing's going to happen. But Bumble, the thing about Bumble though is that there's all the different things with the dating apps are. OkCupid is like the most open, where you can like message people even if you're not matched with them. Bumble is the most attractive people, and also women get to message first. Hinge is people are looking for relationships, and there's for some reason a lot of ugly people on it. Listen, man, I'm not the most attractive person. I'm sure some people see me and go, look at that fucking dog, dude. Look at that gross fucking dog. So I'm not one to judge. But it just is what it is, man. When you're on Hinge and you're swiping, you're like, what's going on here? You just do. And I felt like an asshole the first time I was on Hinge, and I felt like everyone on here is not. Don't get me wrong, there are some beautiful people on the app. I'm sure they're beautiful in their souls, but there are also some physically beautiful people on Hinge. But for the most part, it's a lot of what the fuck, man? It's a lot of why. It's just so many. At all the other apps, it's like a attractive person, not so attractive. It's a good mix. But on Hinge, it's like, what the fuck? Okay. You know, it's not the same ratio as most apps. And I felt bad thinking this. And I even told my friend, I might have said this on the podcast. I even told my friend, like, is this mean? But like, everyone on Hinge is ugly. And he goes, what do you mean, dude? That's kind of fucked up to say. And I was like, maybe I'm being an asshole. And then he downloaded Hinge, and about a month later, he said to me, he goes, he was sitting next to me swiping on Hinge. He goes, hey, man, I'm going to say this to you. It might be fucked up, but everyone on Hinge is ugly. And I was like, yeah, dude, that's what I was saying to you. And then recently, another friend of mine was downloaded Hinge, and he said the same thing. And then after he said it, another friend came into the conversation, and we're like, oh, we're just talking about Hinge. And he goes, dude, everyone on that is not the best looking. And then we laughed and said, that's exactly what we were just saying. And listen, we're part of the dating pool on Hinge, so we're part of the ugly, dude. I don't exempt myself from the grossness on that app. I'm just saying, you know, on the male side of that app, I hope I'm getting buried, is what I'm saying. I'm saying a good, smart dating app buries me and all the other uggos underneath the attractive people. It's just shocking that on Hinge, it doesn't do that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, people on Hinge are beautiful, okay? Except if they're not. Anyway, I was on Bumble. This person matches with me, and I go, okay, we'll see if they message me. Who knows? So then I get a message, and it's a message that's like, beautiful, you better be enjoying the beautiful day, getting some vitamin D. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Not a hey, a full open, like an actual thing she said that I can respond to. Great. So then I'm like, hey, trying to, I just hope it doesn't pour. Because I actually looked at the weather for once. When she messaged about the weather, I said, I'm going to come prepared. I looked up the weather. It said that it had a chance of raining that day. So then I texted back, yeah, just trying to get out there before it pours. And then she says, you're good. It's supposed to pour tomorrow. Or it's not going to rain till tomorrow. Which is fine that she said that, but part of me was like, motherfucker, I just looked at the weather and it says there's a chance of showers. I don't know why you're hitting me with, well, it's not going to rain till tomorrow, when it says on here it might rain tonight. So I don't know why you're hitting me with the, nah, dude, you're wrong about that. It's going to rain tomorrow. Don't know why you're hitting me with it. Anyway, but it was fine. I'm mostly joking. And we start messaging back and forth, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to go for a walk soon. And then she's like, where are you going on a walk? And I was like, why? You trying to join? I was like, I'm going to walk to the Lower East Side. She goes, oh, I actually live on the Lower East Side. I'm like, all right. And I'm trying to figure out, is she trying to like hang out right now? Like, what's going on? So then I say, oh, well, we should enjoy the nice weather this weekend. And she goes, for sure. What's your schedule like? We set up a date. And then I go, let me get your number and we'll figure out the details of the date. She gives me her number. I text her. I say, hey, let's go to this place. She's, I text her. And when I get a phone number on a dating app, I immediately text about a date. And what I try to do is I try and like talk about a date on the app and then be like, let me get the phone number. And then we exchange phone numbers and then we text about the plans for the date and make a date. And then I would prefer not to talk to the person until the date actually happens. I just think that's the best way to do it. That way you got plenty of shit to talk about on the date. That way you don't fucking... You get a chance of meeting the person and having a sense of them without having a bunch of conversation with them and then meeting them and being like, well, I don't like you in person. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you talk with somebody a lot and the conversation is good, but then you meet them and you're like, oh, everything is off. Your mannerisms are strange. You don't look like the person that you showed me on the app. That happens all too often. It's so crazy. I've said this before. I'm gonna see you, dude. I don't get people who have photos on their dating apps that doesn't look like them. I'm gonna see you. We're gonna see you. The person who you're asking on a date is gonna see you in real life. And then they're gonna see you and go, what? And I used to feel bad about it. And I still feel a little bad, but I always try and put it in perspective of like, the thing that I worry most about in going on a date is whether or not the person's going to look how they're supposed to look. I mean, well, that's the second thing after worrying about like maybe being murdered or they're going to kill me or capture me or you know, or it's not even like instead of a woman, it's a man who just wants to clobber me. I don't know. You know, there are other things to worry about, but I'm saying beyond the obvious, like maybe I'll get killed type shit. The thing that I worry about is the person going to look how they look? Because I've gone on dates where in person I see the person and I go, that doesn't look like the person, and then on the date I'm just like, all right, well, I'm not attracted to this person. So the conversation might be good, but at the end of the day, I'm not attracted to this person, so it just feels off. And I used to feel bad about that, but then I was like, no, I shouldn't feel bad about that because that's a valid thing to think. It's valid to be bummed out when you meet somebody who doesn't look the way they presented themselves to look, because that's a form of lying. It is, dude. If I write on my dating app, I make fucking 6 figures a year, and then you meet me and I go, oh, I don't make that much money, you'd be like, I mean, I get why you lied about that, but I wish you hadn't. It's the same thing with filters and pictures and all this shit. It's the same thing with a person making themselves look very hot on a dating app. You meet them in person, you go, I mean, you don't look the way you said, and you didn't really need to look that way, but it's kind of weird that you did. It's kind of weird that you presented this false fucking version of yourself. And so I'm justified in feeling bummed the fuck out. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with this. I don't know. I went on a fucking huge tangent. Anyway, so we message each other. Oh, so that's why I like to get a sense of somebody all at once, so there's no disproportionate shit. There's no liking the conversation more than me being attracted to the person. There's none of that. We get the date. We go on the date. It's good. So I message her immediately and I go, hey, would you rather go to a divey dive bar or a cocktail bar? And she messages back, cocktails. And immediately I go, fuck this date. Immediately I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because as I said, I'm already bummed out. I'm already half depressed from these apps. I don't really want to. I'm lonely. It's been a long time since I've been on a date. Well, not a long time since I've been on a date. I went on a date like a month ago. But that's a long time since I've been on a date. A month ago? Since I've had sex? Fucking longer, dude. I think it's been a year. It's been a long fucking time since I've had sex. Dude, it's getting bad, dude. I'm starting to look at women like I'm hungry. Okay? I'm starting to look at women like I'm fucking Tony Soprano. Like I'm looking at women like, how you doing? Not out loud, in like, I don't say that to women. That's rude. If I'm like, how you doing? I'm not catcalling them on the street. That's a rude thing to do. But in my head, I'm very Italian. In my head, I'm very like, you know, in my head, I'm doing what Tony does where he sees a woman and you just hear. And then she walks over and he's like, hey, how you doing? That's what I'm doing in my head. I'm breathing heavy and looking at this woman like I want to eat her, like she's a plate of lasagna. But on the outside, I'm just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Do you know what I'm saying? That's bad. When you're a man and you start and it's been so long that you've had sex that you're becoming Tony Soprano, that's not a good thing. It means it's time to be intimate with somebody. It means it's time to reconfigure your brain a bit, man. Anyway, so, and that's the problem too, is that I have this terrible combination of it's been a while. I'm lonely. I would like to be on a date with somebody. I would like to do something with somebody, have a nice time. But at the same time, there's the other part of me that's just fucking any inconvenience. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this. I'm not willing to put the effort forward that you need to go on a date with somebody. I'm not willing to put the effort forth to match my desire, the thing I desire to happen. Anyway, but I stomach it and I go, fuck it. It's fine. Cocktails, it's fine. It'd be sick. A friend of mine was like, what's wrong with cocktails? I don't mind cocktails. I'm like, yeah, cocktails are fine, but he's like, a lot of girls pick cocktails. I was like, yeah, but the fun ones pick dive bars. He said, you got a point. And it's true, dude. I don't mind going to a cocktail bar and a date. I've done it before, but in my experience, the fun ones always pick dive bars. Fun people pick dive bars. It's just a fact. People who pick cocktail bars are people watching their weight or trying to drug people. That's what's going on. Douchebags who use fucking date rape drugs go to cocktail bars, and then women who want to stay ripped as fuck. Okay? It's not the kind of people I really want to be around. It's true, dude. Cocktail bar, that's all I can think about when I'm at a cocktail bar, is these dudes are disgusting. Like, they're always broy fucking dudes who are like, hey, yo, guy buy you a drink, bro? Always. And it's just not where I think I should be or where I enjoy being. Anyway, I gotta stop saying anyway. I was listening to one of the podcasts as I was editing. I was like, damn, dude, I say anyway all the fucking time. I gotta cut that shit out. But I'm about to say it again. Anyway, every time I'm like, I can't say that word, I'm about to say the word right after I say I shouldn't say it. It's just an easy refrain, man. But I used an instead. That's the thing. You got to use an and anywhere or like. You got to use something, bro. So she said cocktails, and I was like, okay, cocktails, it's fine. I pick a place. She goes, oh, I like that place. I was like, cool. So then she goes, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, no. No, don't do this, please. And so I answer the question, and then she starts hitting me with multiple questions. You know that thing that people do, especially on dating apps, especially when you haven't met someone in real life? I mean, you do it with friends sometimes and people you have met in real life, but a lot of times, for whatever reason, it happens with dates and dating apps and people who you've not met face to face yet, where you send like 5 subjects of conversation and then you respond to all 5, and then you're having like 5 conversations at once. It's annoying. Okay, I've been guilty of it. I try not to do it. Other people do it to me. I don't like it. It's something we all put up with for some reason on dating apps, and when it comes to dating in general. I'm going to hit you with 5, you hit me with 5 back, and we keep having this fucking 5-layer conversation until we're just like, hey, let's stop this and just go on the date and find out if we actually like each other. but I don't like it. Anyway, so she's sending me, what do you do for work? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm answering her questions. Then I'm hitting her with questions, and she's answering some of them, but not all of them. And I'm like, hey, man, don't hit me with 5 questions that I answer all of them, and then I hit you with them, and you don't answer them back. One of the questions she didn't respond to, because I found out she's a fitness trainer. So I was like, damn, that checks out. You're a fitness trainer. That's why you want to go to a fucking cocktail bar. You're watching your figure. I get it. It's all good. Also, all of her pictures were like her being swole, and I was like, get it. All right, that makes sense. And so, oh, and also her name on the app was Pickles. So one of the first things she says to me was like, what do you do for a living? Also, don't you want to know what my real name is? And when she said that, I was like, ah, shit. Because here's the thing. I thought Pickles might be an alias, but then again, I don't see a lot of aliases that are that obviously of an alias on an app. So I just figured it was a weird name. I mean, one time somebody's name was Wolf on a dating app, and I was like, that's chill as fuck. I like that name, and it was her real name. And I'm not going to lie, the majority of why I wanted to go on a date with her is because I thought it would be sick to date someone named Wolf. Not gonna lie. That was part of the motivation here. Her name was Pickles. I was like, would be cool to date somebody named Pickles. That's weird as fuck. Anyway, she goes, don't you want to know what my real name is? And I was like, I was kind of hoping it was Pickles. And then she like loved that message or whatever and was like, oh, my name is Gianna. And I was like, what are you, my cousin? My name's Melissa. Okay, dude. What are you, a fucking one of my Italian cousins? Can't you be Pickles? Also, I don't know. Don't make your alias Pickles, because now I'm just like, I'm going to call this girl Pickles. I don't want to call her Melissa. I don't want to call her by her name. I want to call her the better name. Also, again, it goes into that weird, I get it, man. Dating apps for women are strange, and it might be safer to use an alias, but at the same time, it does make me feel like the picture thing. It's like, hey, I swiped right because you looked a certain way, and not that looks are the only thing that matters, but we all have preferences based on looks, and I did swipe thinking you look a certain way, and I also did swipe thinking Pickles is a sick name, and now that it's not, I'm a little bummed out. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to not go on the date, but I'm a little bummed out. That was the end of the first part. I'll see you in the second part. What's up? I'm back. I'm taking way too long to tell this story, too. Anyway, let me try to fucking power through the rest of this real quick. First half hour. That's the thing. I always start a story and I have no idea how long it's going, and then I'm like, damn, dude, I told this story for fucking 40 minutes. I gotta edit my goddamn mouth. I go on so many fucking pointless tangents. And then I do this too, where I'm explaining that I'm taking too long to tell the story, and that just makes the story even longer. So I need to shut the fuck up and finish the shit. Anyway, Pickles. I'm pissed. Her name's not Pickles. That sucks. Her name is fucking what's it called? Stefania instead. Hey, dude, what are you, my cousin? No, I don't have anyone named Stefan. Actually, a friend of mine's named Stefania, and that's a fucking beautiful name, and I like that name. And if her name was Stefania, I would have been cool with it. But her name was Melissa, and that fucking sucks, dude. I didn't say that, though. I said, Pickles is a cute name, but Melissa's still a cute name, too, though. Is it, though? Is it, though? Or was I lying? I think I was lying, but it's fine. Anyway, nah, it's a cute name. Is it? I don't know. Anyway, and now I'm saying anyway a bunch. Fuck me, dude. So we're texting, and she starts talking about how she's from Texas. And then I was telling her I went to Texas one time and it reminded me of Westchester. And then she starts being like, really? Texas reminds you of Westchester? So that annoyed me because I'm like, yes, it does. And then I said, yeah, the part in Westchester that I'm from, this happens often. And a lot of the time it's from people who don't fucking know Westchester. Westchester is very big and very different. There are like urban parts of Westchester that are more city-ish, and there are parts of Westchester that are like small, tiny towns, and then there are parts of Westchester that are like farmland, that are rural as shit. My ex-girlfriend was like, there's no way, I lived in a rural area, there's no way Westchester's rural. I've been to parts of Westchester. And then I was like, okay, well, where I grew up is kind of rural and farmish. And then she came here one time and I drove past the horse farm and I wasn't even thinking about the shit. I was just driving to a place. I was just driving the way you drive in my hometown. And then my ex went, this is really rural. And I said, yeah, why would I be lying? So this was a little bit annoying. Her being like, what? Texas? I was like, yeah, the place in Houston that I was at was very suburban and flat, and like, you know, there was some farmland that reminded me of where I grew up. And she was like, oh, okay, that's weird. She just goes, I used to live in Westchester. I go, where in Westchester? She goes, Montrose. I go, what's that? I'd never been there. And she goes, it's in Westchester. I go, yeah, I know that, but like, what's it like? She goes, it's a neighborhood in Westchester. I go, yeah, dude, but what is it though? And she's like, I go, what's it like? Because, you know, Westchester's very different. I just told you Westchester for me is very rural. Like, I'm trying to be as nice as possible. It's very rural. No, and I was like, no, I get it. Yeah, I also come from a neighborhood in Westchester, but it sounds like mine's different. What was yours like? And she's like, oh, it was like Greenpoint. You know, shops and bars and all that. I was like, okay, all right. Why did I have to pull that information out of you? Anyway, it was very annoying. It was like she was asking a lot of questions, but then I had to like pull teeth to get answers from her. It was irritating, bro. And it just got me to the point where I was like, maybe this is just a boring person. Maybe we shouldn't go on a date. I'm kind of getting annoyed, but at the same time, I'm lonely. I just want to go on a date with somebody. I just want to flirt and be with somebody where something might happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just want to be in the context of a date. You just want to be on a date. You just want to be in the arena, if that makes any fucking sense. And so I'm like, whatever. This is annoying, but whatever. So then she goes, can I get your IG? And I go, sure. Can I get yours? And then she gives me mine. And then she gives me, well, first I say some stupid shit. I always say this shit. I go like, oh, you can get my IG, but you might think I'm a weirdo after you see it. Because I don't know. I'm saying a bunch of weird shit on my Instagram. Also, my stories are weird as fuck. I'm a weird person sometimes. So, and also I don't like giving my Instagram out. But I don't know. I was just like, fuck it. Whatever. Here's my Instagram. And so I say the little spiel, oh, you know, you might think I'm weird after it. Anyway, what's your Instagram? She gives me hers. Just another one-word answer. She just gives me the Instagram. Doesn't say anything else. Just gives me the exact name of her Instagram. And I go and look at it, and it's just all her working out. I'm like, that makes sense. She's a fitness trainer, all that shit. And then I go to post about a year back, and there's a New Year's photo of her and a dude making like a cute face, and they look like a couple. And I was like, what's this? And then I look at all the stuff before that, and it's just tons of pictures with her and this dude like kissing, on vacation, like super relationshipy shit. And then I'm like, oh, is this person just out of a fucking 4-year relationship? And the reason why I know it's 4 years is because I scrolled back until I didn't see the dude anymore. And I was like, damn, dude, most of her Instagram is her and this guy. So I was like, damn, another one? Because I had that other date with that other person who, I told you guys about that, where it was a good first date, but she was just out of a relationship and then it didn't work out, whatever. But that was different because I liked that person. That was different because the conversation leading up to the date had me going, I really hope this date goes well. This has been good conversation. This date was all the conversation leading up to it was me being like, this is annoying as shit, but I'm going to go on this because fuck it. And now that I see she's just out of a relationship, I'm like, this is even more annoying. So I text her and go, oh, I guess we're just going to stare at each other's Instagrams now. Because that's what you do when you send each other Instagrams. You just stare at the Instagrams and you do a little bit of Instagram stalk. That's what you do. If you ask for someone's social media, if you ask for my Instagram, I know what you're doing. You're going to look at the whole fucking thing. And I'm going to do the same thing if I ask for yours. That's just what you do. As a person who's going on a date with you, or as a person as a person who's going on a date with somebody else, you're very curious, and if you ask for their social media, you're going to do the research. You want to know what they look like. You want to find a video maybe and find out if they look the way the pictures look. You want to get a sense of the person before you make the mistake of going on a date. And so then I say that, I text that, I guess we're going to just stare at each other's Instagrams. And then she goes, I'm going to sleep. That's what she texts me. And I go, good night. She goes, night. So then we don't talk for a day. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to make it this reservation, then text her, see you then. So a day goes by. On Friday, I message her. I go, oh, made a reservation for 7 on Saturday. See you then. And then she texts me back and goes, sorry, I changed my mind. So I was filled with two emotions. I was filled with a little bit of rejection where I was like, damn, I got rejected. But then I was also filled with an overwhelming sense of, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I don't have to go on this goddamn date. I'm going to play Returnal all weekend. I had that thought because Returnal just came out. Returnal, dude. If you don't know what it is, fucking look it up. It's a roguelite. My first roguelite I ever played, bro. It's a roguelite third-person shooter made by the dudes and gals who made Resogun, which is a tight fucking PS4 game, and it's very good. And I loved playing the little bit I played of it. And I just want to play more and more. And part of me was like, this date, I got a date, and it'll be good to have human interaction. But also, Resogun is dope, or Returnal is dope, and I just want to play that. So part of me was like, and maybe that's not a good thing. That I'd much rather. I mean, but that's for anybody, dude. Anybody this weekend who wants to hang out, I'm like, dude, I'm playing Returnal. I'd rather play a game than hang out with most people. It's just, it is what it is, man. You're not more fun than an alien planet crafted by hundreds of people. You're not. Okay? And you shouldn't be. Nobody worked on you for that fucking long. You're not that interesting. It's just, it is what it is. Your parents accidentally had you, and these hundreds of people intentionally spent thousands and thousands of hours on crafting this perfectly made game. Of course, the game is going to be better. It has more work put into it. Any video game in existence is more fun than me. That's a fact. Okay, I would not argue against anyone who said that. So yeah, so I was relieved. I felt like fucking what Larry David said that. He said I'm never. He goes, when someone cancels plans, it's always a good thing because then I don't have anything to do. Then I'm free. I don't have to do something, and that's how I felt. I felt like that's awesome. I'm free. So then I texted my friend and was like, hell yeah, man. Guess who's gonna be in the Discord Saturday, baby? And then he's like, oh shit, what happened? And then I sent him the screenshot of her being like, sorry, I changed my mind, and me going, ha ha ha, oh, did I say that? I texted that back. She said, sorry, I changed my mind, and I texted back, ha 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 ha, Anyway, so then he goes, oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm like, listen, man, honestly, the conversation we had was not going well. And then he Oh, and another layer of this that I forgot to mention is that first picture I saw of them that was a year back. It was a New Year's photo of the two of them making a funny face, of her and her boyfriend making a funny face, and it said, "This year is going to be epic." It said 2020 is going to be epic. And I mean, she wasn't wrong. I mean, epic means of great scale. And like, this definitely was fucking epic, dude. This was an epic year. Especially if she lost her relationship of 4 years and also a pandemic happened. That's pretty fucking epic, dude. But anyway, again, said anyway. God damn it. Gotta fucking get rid of that refrain. So my friend is like, whatever, man. Yeah, we'll game. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. But then he goes, dude, what the fuck? I just looked at this girl's Instagram and that guy is in her stories. And so I go back to her Instagram and I see that the dude who looks to be her boyfriend, who's in all of her photos on Instagram, is in her story, and the caption of the story is, "It's one of those days," and he's just stretching in front of her in her apartment. And I, still being the dumb fuck that I am, was like, well, that's weird. Maybe she's getting back together with him, or maybe like they're on and off. And then he goes, dude, do you think that she was trying to cheat? And I was like, what? And he goes, think about it. She used an alias. She has all these pictures with her ex or with this guy. And I was like, wait, what? And then everything clicked in my head and I was like, oh shit. Is that why the texts initially, or the messages initially, felt like she was like trying to hang out immediately? Like, was she like, my apartment's open? Was she just trying to like one and done that day, cheat on her boyfriend real quick? And then the date thing, and then yeah, her name being Pickles on the app, but that's not her real name. And then also, when I saw that many photos of this dude and her, I was like, this is a psychotic amount of photos to keep with a person who you just broke up with. But I was also like, it's been 4 years, maybe you keep the photos, I don't know. But then it all clicked, and I was like, holy fuck. I think that might have happened. I think that might be what the fuck happened. And then also, her apartment is very nice. All the videos, she's got a pool. She's fucking got a giant Lower East Side apartment. Like, every image I saw of her place, I was like, this is fucking nice. How the hell is she affording this by herself? And then he's in it stretching with her, and I'm like, wait a second. I think they might live together. Wait a second. I think they might still be together. And yeah, so damn, dude. So that was my experience on dating apps this week. Somebody tried to pull me into ruining their relationship. That's pretty tight, dude. Not what I'm looking for, but what are you gonna do, you know? Or she could have just not liked me. Which is totally possible, which might be more possible in this scenario. Who knows? But what are you going to do? She either just did not like me, or she was trying to cheat on her husband, boyfriend, whatever, and had second thoughts. I don't know. Either way, I got to play Returnal, so I'm having a good weekend. Dude, I like video games, man. I like them too much. I was on the Discord the other day with some friends, and they were talking about how you can look at how many hours you've put into games on your PlayStation. Now, these were statistics that I did not know were on PlayStation or Xbox. Part of the reason I stopped playing games on Steam is because I didn't want the constant reminder of how many hours I was wasting playing video games. I didn't want the knowledge of how much time I'm dumping into them. So I thought I was safe playing on PlayStation. I did not think they logged your fucking hours in. But then, much to my chagrin, a friend of mine was like, hey, dude, no, I'm looking at it right now, and they show you it. So I said, fuck it, let me look. And I start looking at the games, and too many hours for a lot of them, but then one game stuck out more than the others, and it was a number that bummed me the fuck out. It was a number that immediately upon seeing the hour count for this game, it was a number so large that I went, oh, God. I immediately went like, ah, oh, fuck. I think the exact words I used was, oh, no. Oh, no. Is that really how many fucking hours I spent? And then I said to my friends, guess how many hours I spent playing God of War. And they start guessing. They're like, I'm going to guess like 300 hours. The other one, I go, what's your guess to my other friend? He goes, I'm going to guess like 500 hours. And I go, the friend said, I'm going to guess 600 hours. I go, try doubling it. And he goes, what? And I go, I played 1,265 hours of God of War. According to PlayStation, I played 1,265 hours of the single-player game God of War. And one of my friends said that too. He goes, oh shit, and that's single player. Which is somehow even more of a like, hey man, what the fuck are you doing? And here's the thing, the way I play video games, I do leave the console on for a long time sometimes. So there is a bit of like, well, I leave the console on for a long time when I'm not playing. So those numbers are probably inflated a bit, but they're not inflated enough where that isn't a substantial number. Even if they were inflated by 200 hours. I played that game too many times, and I had a feeling because I was playing it the other day, and something in my gut, in the core of my fucking stomach, was like, I don't want to play this. You stop playing this. Something deep in me was like, ugh, I feel bad doing this, and I don't know why. And also the amount of currency I have in that game, like the amount of fucking... it's got to be in the billions. I don't look at the number anymore because it's occupying so much fucking space on the screen that I think the screen itself is going to fucking crack and break. But I was like, damn, I have so much experience points and money in this game that I must have been playing it a unorthodox amount. I must have played through this too many times. And when I saw that number, the answer was clear. Yes. Yes, I have. And my friends were very sweet about it, where they were like, oh, that's kind of tight. Like some of because I told other friends who were in the Discord when they came in later. And some of them were like, that's tight, dude. And then other ones were like, hey, man, if you had fun doing it, that's great. And then another one said, hey, I probably spent the same amount of time just being depressed this year. So I think you made a better use of your time. And I didn't say this, but part of me was like, hey, man, I spent a large portion of those hours also being depressed. I don't think you spend 1,200 hours of a game. I don't think you spend 1,200 hours playing a video game, a single player video game, unless you're also very, very, very much in a dark spot in your brain. I don't think you do that. I don't think you clock in those hours without some healthy amount of depression. Anyway, and I think they're right. You know, in the same way that they're like, hey, don't feel bad about it. I think it's very healthy for me to also feel bad about it. I mean, I calculated what 1,265 hours is in days, and it's like 55 days. It's 55 days of my life spent playing that game. And not even really 55 days, because that's 55 full days. And so when you really factor it in, because you're what are you awake 16 hours of the day? So if you really factor it in, it's probably like not 500. Fuck that, I'd fucking kill myself. So it's really probably 100 hours of my life. 100 days, not hours, days, 100 days of my life, or close to it, spent hitting people with an axe and yelling boy at my son. That's so I spent fucking almost 100 days of my life hearing, boy, come here, boy. That's a lot of abusive fatherhood to intentionally endure. Anyway, so that's not the best. So it made me think I should probably curb my video game habits a little bit. It was good to see. It was good to see because I knew it for a while, but it was good to see the cold hard number, you know, the stone cold number. I don't even know if that's the fucking right thing to say for it, but it was good to see clearly this is how much time you've wasted. Stop. It said next to it. I don't know how they did that. PlayStation must have edited it in. Maybe once you hit over 1,000 hours in a game, they fucking burn this into the screen. But it said 1,265 hours. Stop. Don't play this game anymore. Also, it's a good thing to see the hour count in retrospect. In retrospect, I should have just kept playing on Steam because the hour count keeps you in check. You're like, I played that many hours of that game. It's time to stop. It's time for me to not do that anymore. So, yeah. So I'm going to try not to play God of War at least for a long, long time. At least for 100 fucking days. Damn, dude. I spent a lot of time telling that fucking stupid date story. I hope it was entertaining to some degree. I only got like 4 minutes left of the pod, and I have a whole other story that I want to talk about that I don't know if I have the time to talk about. I'll talk about it real quick. So I helped someone I know move recently. That's all I'll say. I helped somebody move, and he was moving with other people. And one of the people who was moving with him was this woman, a guy, and another guy. Okay? And this woman was very irritating. And she was a bit of a Karen. I had a real-life Karen scenario with this woman where it was the end of the day. We had spent the whole day loading this truck, right? To the point where, like, the other people who were helping us had to leave because we've been doing it so fucking long. Like, hours and hours of loading this fucking truck. And then we bring the truck to the new place where we're unloading it to move all this shit into this studio. And the area we want to park in is taken up by 2 cars. Right? So we're parked, 30 feet from where we want to be parked so that it's an easier way to bring all our shit into the building, to the freight elevator. And there is a car, so there are 2 cars right in front of the truck. One of the cars leave, but the other car stays there. And in the car is 2 attractive black women, and one of the women gets out and goes inside, and then the other woman is sitting in the car. Now, the first thing that happened here, that made me go, this is going to be a weird scenario, was when one of the women left and went inside, the other woman still sat in the passenger seat, and then the woman I know, the Karen, I'll refer to her as Karen from now on, Karen was getting annoyed by the car being there, and then she walked over and looked inside the car and said, "Oh, no one's in there." She looked at it, and I'm standing on the sidewalk looking in the car too. I'm not walking all the way up to it to stare. She walked up to the car, stared inside the car. The woman inside the car looked at Karen like, "Bitch, what the fuck are you doing?" Okay? I'm not, listen, that's what her eyes said. I'm not calling her that. I'm not calling Karen that, but that's what her eyes said. And respectfully so, she just was staring inside the car. And also I guess she was staring at the woman like she didn't exist, because her answer after looking into the car was, "Ugh, no one's in there." You just looked at a full human, dude. There's a full human in that car. So already I was like, that was racist, right? That was weird and racial. That was definitely racial and strange that she didn't see the black woman in the car. Like, you could see her, dude. Anyway, so that's where it started, and I was like, this is weird. And she's getting pissed about the car being there. And then, so since the car in front of that one moved, one of the people we're with was like standing in that space, and then we're trying to like figure out if we could move the truck in front of this car that's in the way. And then, but again, the car's not in the way. They're allowed to park there. It would just be easier for us if we moved the car up. But this woman, these two women are allowed to park in this area. Like, we came late. If she wants to be nice enough to move, she can, but she doesn't have to move. Anyway, but Karen's getting pissed off. And then the woman who was driving the car comes out of the building, and she goes, do you need me to move? Or do you want me to move? And instead of going, "Oh yeah, that would be great. Could you actually move that? That'd be so great. Thank you so much." Instead of being humble and saying thank you to a person who's offering to do something nice for you, she goes, in response to this woman being gracious and nice and going, oh shit. The timer just went out. I'll see you for the end of this story. I'll see you in a sec. What's up? I'm back. Okay, so So in response to this woman being like, "Sure, you want me to move?" Instead of being gracious and nice, Karen looks at her kind of with a vicious, shitty look and goes, "I mean, you're blocking us. Like, we're trying to load all of our stuff and you're blocking us. You're in our way. Like, yeah, if you could move. I mean, you're blocking us." That's what she said. And so the woman goes, "Okay, yeah, I'll move. And then she gets in her car, and she's being as nice as possible. Because she could have been like, "Hey, watch your fucking tone. Why the fuck would you talk to me like that? Like, I'm offering to move. You don't have to be a douche." But instead she goes, okay, I'll move. And she gets in the car, and she starts moving. She moves up a little bit, instead of moving up all the way. Because also Karen is standing in the way. So the woman's like, "I'm trying to move, but you're standing in front of me, so I can only move so much." So she moves a little bit, and then Karen's like, "Could you move up a little further? Could you move up a little further?" And at that point, she's pissed off because not only was she rude to Karen was rude to this lady, but now she's like being kind of shitty and being like, "Can you move up? Can you move up?" She's saying it like everything has to happen for this woman, for Karen to be happy. So then the woman in the car goes, I'm moving. You keep repeating yourself. You're so annoying. You keep repeating yourself. Jesus. And then she goes, "Okay." And then Karen goes, "Okay, you don't need to say that." And she goes, "You're annoying. You keep repeating yourself, okay? Fucking stop repeating yourself. I'm moving. I'm going." And Karen's like, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay." And then she walks away. And then she goes over to me and says, "Do you hear what they're saying?" And I go, "Yeah, dude, don't stop trying to start a fight." No, I said, "Don't start a fight with them." And then I walk away. Because I'm not going to be lumped in with her shit. She was trying to fucking make me a part of her defense force. Like, she was walking over to me to go, "Hey, can you believe this? You're on my side, right? If shit goes down, you're on my side, right?" And I went very kindly, "No, I'm not on your side," and walked away. In so many words, I was like, yeah, I heard what they said. Don't start a fight with them. I'm peacing out. And I walked fucking 10 feet away. And these women are like, all right, bitch, I'm moving, bitch. Okay, Jesus Christ. You keep fucking repeating yourself. You're going to be such a bitch. We're moving. And she's like, oh my God. Karen goes, oh my God. As a Karen does. Karens start fight, and then when it gets thrown at them, they act like they're fucking an innocent victim. So then these women, I think they did not just move all the way up. I think they end up driving away. Or they moved all the way up. Doesn't matter. They get fully out of the way. And then I just go to the back of the truck to start unloading. And then Karen comes over and walks over to us, and she's like, can you believe that just happened? Can you believe that? And she's talking to one of the guys we were with. And she's talking more to him than to me, but I'm standing right there. And she's like, can you believe that just happened? Oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. Did you hear them? I said to them very nicely, I said, could you please move your car, because we're trying to unload it, and it'll be so great if you could move your car. That'd be so nice if you could. Could you please do that? And then she just started yelling at me like, oh my God, yeah, we'll move, bitch, you bitch. Oh my God, you're a bitch. Can you believe that happened? And I'm looking at her like, no, I can't believe that happened, because I saw what happened, and that didn't fucking happen. And then the dude goes, I'm so sorry that happened to you. It didn't. It didn't happen to her. She made it up. It's wild to watch somebody in real time process a fight they went into and then walk over to another person and after processing what happened, changed the story entirely to make her look like a victim. In real time, I watched this woman completely lie about a thing that just happened in front of us to us. Like, she's lying about the thing we all saw to the people who saw it. The level of delusion and entitlement that it takes to do something like that is fucking wild. Anyway, so bottom line of this story, fuck this lady. Because I was also getting paid to move shit that day. And then during the day, she was like talking about stuff. She's like, yeah, well, last time when I moved my apartment, the estimate was like $800 for moving. I ended up paying $2,000, but it was no big deal. And then later we were talking about the TV. She's like, I don't want, she goes, we can leave the TVs on the truck. I mean, they're like $500 a piece. So like, I don't really care if someone takes them. And I'm like, hey, don't keep bringing up how much money you don't give a fuck about when you're not paying me that much money. Okay? Word to the wise, if you're employing somebody and you're not paying them the best rate, don't keep talking about how money is inconsequential to you. Another person I work with did that. Told me the rent of his new apartment. And I'm like, hey man, then you can pay me more. Don't fucking tell me how good you're doing if you're paying me like shit, you fucking dum-dum. Anyway, well, bottom line, what I wanted to say was those two women are in the right, and don't ever let a Karen like that or any person fucking lump you in with their bullshit. Don't do it, dude. Stand your ground. If you are with somebody who's getting into a fight with people, you look at them and you go, hey man, you made your own bed. You started this fight, you're going to have to end it yourself. Also, she's not even a friend of mine. She's some lady that I barely know. I don't give a fuck what happens to her. I don't give a fuck what happens to her in an argument where I agree with the party that doesn't like her. I don't know what you want me to do in that scenario. If it got violent, maybe I'd intervene. But other than that, you're on your own, dude. It's a war of fucking words right now. And you're going to have to lose the battle. Because you started it and they're going to fucking end it. And good, dude. Oh, man. But it pissed me off. It pissed me off that this guy, again, it was her employee, was like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm not sorry. I'm glad it happened to you. And I hope that even though you made it up, and that's the bummer too, is that she didn't learn anything from that scenario. She made up a different version in her head. And that's the reality to her. And that's the crazy thing. And I think that's why this story is so interesting and insane to me is that, like, there are people out there like that. There are men and women who start fights, who do shitty stuff, and then when they tell the story back, they just change it so that they're not the bad person. It's like when you hear a story about a dude who got stabbed or got mugged or got in a fucking brawl in the middle of the street at night. Every time I'm told a story like that, it's always a dude I know who is aggressive and irritating and tries to start fights. So then people are like, can you believe what happened to him in the city? And you're like, that's not the city's fault. That's his fault for being a loud fucking cunt. If you want to start a fight, if you want to be shitty to people, they're going to be shitty back, as they fucking should. Anyway, fuck that lady. And I love those women in that car. That's it for the podcast this week. I'm sorry if these fucking stories were too long-winded. Trying to get better about editing myself and not going on 90,000 tangents and being a long-winded fucking asshole. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this week. I had a great time. As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
J-A